Welcome back to the place I record videos at. My name is Antonio, and we're going to be talking about how to maybe not, or how you should carry your... We're going to go over comfort, price, security, the ease of access of a bunch of different options, and I'm going to make it as concise for you as possible. So let's get into it. First up is the traditional camera strap. I hate those things with a passion. They drive me crazy. But they are fast. They just sit on your neck. It's really quick and easy to use your camera, and they are super cheap because they usually come with your camera, unless you upgrade to a more expensive one, but most people usually don't. The reason I hate the traditional camera strap and the one that comes with most cameras is because it's such a pain to take on and off. It's got those little weavy in and out things. They drive me crazy. I can't do it. I'd throw mine in the bin pretty much straight away. Let's go on to the next one. That is the Peak Design straps. I've got two of them right here. I've got the Peak Design cuff and the Peak Design leash. Peak Design is more expensive. It's probably going to be double the cost of a traditional camera strap if you were just to buy a traditional camera strap, but they do come with these little tabs. And Peak Design is not the only brand that makes these. There's a couple others that have quick release tabs on them, and you'll probably see a lot of people, photographers and videographers, with little red dongle things on their cameras in different places. Those are the anchor points that the Peak Design clips latch onto. The reason I prefer these way more over a traditional camera strap is, although this particular one here is very traditional looking, it's just got the quick release, which means you can easily take them on and off, and you can do that with any other brand. Doesn't have to be Peak Design. And I also like the feeling of them. They're pretty comfortable. They've got like a sort of seatbelt type material, but this one here is pretty similar to a traditional camera strap in that it is light and fast and easy to access your stuff, but you could also get your cameras stolen, maybe if you're out somewhere in a touristy location and you've just got this sitting on you. Although it's not going to be the easiest to steal it, someone could cut it, someone could just lift it off you and take it, whatever it might be. It's not that much of a deterrent for a potential camera theft. The other thing with these is that they will get uncomfortable after a little bit of time, like most things, because it's just a thin strap. Now, I have tried every single... Oops, almost pulled my softbox down on me. I have tried pretty much every single type of Peak Design strap there is. There's the Peak Design cuff, the Peak Design leash, the Peak Design slide, the slide light, and everything in between. I've actually owned all of them. I sold all of them except for the leash because it's small and lightweight and quick to use, and also the cuff, which is probably my most used Peak Design product because it's extra small and extra lightweight. It's probably even a bit of a... not so much a theft deterrent, because when it's on your wrist you can't really see it, but when it's on your camera, if someone did try to steal it, it would kind of be attached to you, but it wouldn't be that much of a deterrent to stop someone from coming up and stealing it from you in the first place. The least favorite thing that I have about the traditional camera straps and the Peak Design straps, or any strap at that, is that when I go to lift the camera up to my eye, or maybe for a mirrorless camera where the viewfinder will detect your eye, sometimes the straps can dangle in the way of the viewfinder, and then your camera thinks that your eye is going up to the viewfinder, and then it cuts out the display, and it's just a bit annoying. So overall, for the Peak Design stuff or the quick release straps, is that they are quick and convenient and light, but they're not cheap. Now, the one that everybody knows, which is a backpack. They are comfortable, they can be light, but they can also be heavy, depends which one you get. They also are going to hold much more than just a camera, which is awesome. And I'm not talking about just regular backpacks. I obviously mean camera or photography, videography equipment backpacks with the little slots and dividers in them. They're awesome, but they're not going to be the most protective of your gear. I mean, you can get more protective ones, but generally they're a bit soft and a bit squishy. They're not really waterproof. So if you drop the bag or it comes off you, who knows? Maybe if someone steals your bag with camera gear in it, it would be worse than if they just stole the camera, because you're probably more likely to have a bunch of other equipment in that bag alongside your camera that is now stolen. In terms of price, you can get a whole different range of pricing options for different backpacks. The one that I have is this thing. This is the Peak Design Everyday. This is an expensive bag. I think it is not worth the price, to be honest. Sorry, Peak Design. This video obviously isn't sponsored by Peak Design, or anybody at that. I think that it is minimalistic looking. It is quite nice. It's very, I'd say it's reasonably comfortable, and it holds a lot for the look. It doesn't look like it holds a lot, but it does. I've got a video I did with Remy a while ago where you can see me pulling out a whole bunch of stuff out of this backpack, and it's like it's never ending. But for this specific backpack, this is not what this video is about. It's not about the Peak Design backpack. It's just about backpacks in general. I think backpacks are the most comfortable of all of the options we're going to talk about. They're pretty secure, but someone could steal a backpack from you pretty easily, the same way they would steal just a camera on a strap from you as well. So I think overall for a backpack, they are great for carrying everything, but they're not so good for speed, quickly accessing your camera gear. Next up, we've got sling bags. It's kind of like a mini backpack crossed with a camera strap or something like that. I think these are great if you want to have more than just a camera, but not so much as a backpack. Or you're traveling light, you're traveling small, you want something that's just easy to throw on. I think these are a really good option that's halfway between a strap and a bag. That being said though, I basically never use this because I'm either going out with one camera only and nothing else, or I'm going out to shoot a wedding or an event or something and I have everything that I own. I don't often just have one camera and one extra lens. But for people who do that, this is a really good option. In terms of price for these things, same with backpacks, there's a whole bunch of different price options. I'd say these are mid-priced. They're not as expensive as, say, a backpack, but they're going to be more expensive than a strap. In terms of the security, I think they are pretty okay. They're probably less of a theft deterrent than a backpack. I think a thief stealing some camera gear would see a backpack and maybe it would be a bit big or heavy, whereas this is a bit easier to grab and run off with. Now the ease of access of these as well is pretty good. You can just swing it around, grab your camera gear out, put it back in and swing it back, which you could do with a backpack. It's just a little bit bigger and slower and heavier with a backpack. So overall, sling bags are great for little loads, not big loads. Now the next thing, I'm not going to show this on camera because it's big and heavy and annoying, that is hard cases. You can get big ones, you can get small ones. In terms of security, protection for your gear, I definitely think it's the best. If you get a big, ginormous, heavy hard case like the one that's behind me on the floor here, it's going to stop people from trying to steal it because it's so big and heavy. You can get a smaller one, which might be easier for someone to steal. In terms of price of a hard case, they're usually the most expensive option out of everything, except for the last option I have, depending on what case you have, that is. The other thing with the hard cases is that they're very, very slow. They've usually got a lot of big latches and locks on them, and trying to get your camera gear in and out quickly can be annoying. So generally what I like to do with the hard cases is I'll bring them to where I'm shooting. I'll obviously unlock them, get the gear out that I'm using at that moment, and then I'll leave maybe 1 or 2 latches done up so I can quickly kind of access the other gear if I need it. But generally I have 2 cameras on me and I don't really need more than 2 cameras and 2 lenses that I'm using at that time. Now in terms of comfort, it is zero comfort because you don't wear them. I mean, you can probably find some hard cases that have straps or something that you can wear, but after carrying them, I suppose that's the only sort of comfort aspect we could talk about with hard cases, is that you don't really want to carry them because they're very annoying to carry. They're more of a have everything in one spot, move it once or twice throughout the day. That's about it. If that. Don't even move it more than once, I'd say, because it's just annoying. So the final verdict for hard cases is great for security of the gear, protection, travel, sticking it on an airplane, something like that, but not very friendly for, I suppose, the ease of use. Probably the worst for that. Now option number 6 is just carrying the camera freehand with no strap. It is so freeing. Have you tried it? You should definitely try it. You just have no strap, nothing, just holding the camera. After like 30 minutes though, you're going to want to put the camera down and you can't just let it rest around your neck or hanging from your side. You just have to deal with it. So I think in terms of price, it's free. You don't have to add anything else. You just carry it with your hand. Comfort, I'd say it's pretty comfortable because there's nothing pulling on you anywhere, nothing pulling on your neck until you have to put the camera down and you don't know where to put it. Then it's a bit annoying to just carry if you're not using it. The other thing is that it's probably the worst for security. Someone could just come up and take it off you very easily if you're in a touristy location or something like that. And it's also going to be, I'd say, the fastest out of all of them because the camera is in your hand ready to go the entire time. And lastly, we've got the camera harness. I think these look really freaking cool. That's probably half the reason I bought one of these. This is specifically the Holdfast Moneymaker. This one is a solid, thick leather camera harness. It's a dual camera harness, which is more what we're going to be talking about. Not so much the hold-fast harness, but the dual camera harness system. I think the dual camera harness system is pretty comfortable. It depends which brand you go for. The hold-fast one is pretty solid. I really like the look and obviously the feel of it. It kind of goes with the vibe of being a wedding or event photographer. And because you've got two cameras attached to you at all times, it means you can quickly access two different types of lenses. You can get two different maybe settings on each camera, which you can quickly go between, maybe one for photo, one for video. So for working photographers, professionals, dual camera harness is, I'd say, a must if you're in fast-paced events where you might need two different cameras. Otherwise, if you're a professional, maybe you're a headshot photographer in a studio, you probably don't need a harness. You probably don't need anything, to be honest, other than maybe the tether that goes from your camera to your computer. The other thing with harnesses like this is they are very expensive. The Holdfast one I think was like 300, 400 or 500 Australian dollars, which is crazy. But I mean, it's a solid piece of kit. You can probably make, I reckon you can probably make something like this for under $100 or $200 if you really tried, but you'd need to have the tools already. You'd have to find and source the stuff, and Holdfast has already done that for you. And they're very, very well known for being good products and very high quality. This has been in so many different places with me. Anyway, this thing is really cool. It's more expensive than some hard cases that you can get. It's reasonably comfortable for, I'd say, 90% of the time. The only downside with the dual camera harness with most of them is that if you lean over, just like with a traditional camera strap, is the cameras are going to swing around everywhere. So what I've done to fix that is I have these things here. These things are the Peak Design capture clips. I've got a whole bunch of them. They basically have a little Arca Swiss plate inside them, and then they slide in. These are actually designed to go on like a bag strap, so you can hold a camera on your bag, on the strap, out and easy to access. But I like to put these on my belt, and then when I've got the cameras on the dual camera harness and I'm not using them for maybe 5 or 10 minutes, or maybe I'm eating or something like that, I can just clip the cameras in. Maybe I'm walking between locations and I don't want them to swing around. When I've got the dual harness, I'll have these on my belt, and it just makes it a much more pleasant experience, not having my cameras dongle and waggle around everywhere. So final thoughts on the dual camera harness. I think they look cool. They are perfect for working photographers who need more than one camera at quick notice, but they're more expensive. Not for the everyday person, I would say, but I really like it. It's probably my most used one there because I don't really use my cameras for too much other than filming these videos where my camera's on a tripod or I'm out shooting people with cameras. So final thoughts for everything in total. If I'm traveling somewhere and I want to go kind of light, but I want to carry a bunch of lenses and not too much other stuff, I'm definitely going to go with a backpack. If I'm not going to be taking photos for long, but I want to carry maybe 1 or 2 things or just have one camera at quick access, I'm probably going to go for the Sling bag or maybe the Peak Design strap or cuff. If I'm just taking like one single photo, I'm probably going to go with no strap. And if I'm going to be using multiple cameras and lenses and I'm going to be swapping between them throughout a long day, I'm going to go the dual camera harness. That's what I think. If I've missed any, because I'm pretty sure I may have missed 1 or 2 ways you could carry a camera in here. I should also mention, if I'm going to carry everything that I need, I'm going to use a hard case. Usually I actually do that. I use a hard case at the same time as a dual camera harness, and then I can kind of go back and forth between the two. But as I was saying, if you think I've missed anything, comment what you do. Maybe it's different to what I do down below somewhere in the comment section. And I mean, I'd be really interested to see what you guys do and how you guys carry your cameras, because I'm always, like a lot of photographers, I'm always trying to find ways of doing it better. So let me know, and I'll catch you in the next one.